Welcome to a brand new episode of the TF Motorsports official podcast. I'm Thomas Frasco as we just went through three separate Monster Jam events happening at the same time last weekend, and we're going to be talking about it here on the podcast. And I'm joined here with Mason, other known on his social media, Monster Jam California. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on the podcast, and we have a lot of great things to talk about today. So, we have the TF Motorsports official Discord server in the description down below if you guys want to take a look at that. We have sections of the Discord where you get to talk about your favorite monster truck tour or what they're doing. We have plenty of things on there and maybe even some Rigs and Rods exclusive events. Also, we have plenty of different videos coming up here on the channel, so be sure to take a look at that. And before we start, if you guys remember on the last episode of the podcast that I'm probably going to make an edit video of this, we went crazy on the Morgan & Morgan sponsorships, and what ended up happening was we went and we asked if there's any other comment, maybe lend us a hand. Mike Trapper 0464 put a couple of their suggestions. We got Morgan Mutt, Morgan Warrior, Morgan Invasion, Morgan Stabilizer, and Morgan Dew. Honestly, I love Morgan Invasion. Like, that's kind of what it is right now. A big Morgan Invasion.
Oh my god. And the best part to kick off the podcast, you misspelled my name
Oh, what?
or
Whatever?
mispronounced it.
Oh,
You mispronounced my name in the beginning.
what did I say?
You said Mason.
Oh.
I
Okay.
mean it's fine.
Okay. All right. So,
You're not the first who
uh,
mispronounced my name.
all right.
Really, you're not.
So to say it to the rooftop, say it to everybody on the podcast. How do you pronounce your name? Say it to everybody and say it proudly.
To finally announce my name officially probably to everyone that I swear no one paid attention to my bio. My name is Kason.
Kason, Jesus. Okay, yeah.
It's a very difficult name. I do not blame
I
you.
okay. So
Yeah.
we're off to a good start. So Monster Jam, Monster Jam at Glendale. Um, so the event happened and the event ended and it was 1 a.m. So I stayed up and that's yeah. But I'm proud of it though. The event though was fun. So first of all, let's talk about the commentary and like the presentation. It was completely different this time. Instead of it being a live stream with maybe the drivers in like a booth or I'm sorry, the commentators in a booth. It actually was like a full, almost like a full episode of Monster Jam where they're actually in the Feld studio and they're watching it through there. So it was like a very like crazy edited video. Like it actually had a lot of different cameras and whatnot, and I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, now it's my turn.
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
uh,
Yeah.
I forgot. There's only it's just the both of us, so there's not going to be mistakes. Honestly, yeah. If you remember last week. To be honest, I really was not a fan of the whole broadcast thing because for quite a few reasons. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think the camera angles and like almost half of everything, like especially when they named well we're about to get to when they named the track, I thought this is actually very useful and this is like stuff we could know. But at the same time, what about the edits? We like half of us we all know we all do edits. Like half of everyone that likes to do monster edits, especially if we like to do audio, then yeah. That's kind of the big disappointment, but at the same time very understandable
Yeah,
if
like
you know what I mean.
yeah. But yeah, but I did like the commentary though with both of them on there. It was
It was.
yeah, it
I mean, it
had,
wasn't bad.
you know, it wasn't bad, but like obviously it had like something that we didn't have before, because before it was just kind of let's give it up, blah blah blah, and it's kind of loud. But with this one, the volume is actually doable, and
Yeah.
the commercial break part, I noticed it reminded me of like Flow Racing. Like they had that segment where it just shows a static camera and shows commercial break. Were they were they live on Flow Racing with Mav TV sponsoring, or is that just YouTube and maybe they're just trying something?
I really don't. I really don't. No, I haven't. I have not paid attention to Maps TV in a while. To be honest,
All right, so
no,
then
I don't.
yeah, but and then yeah, they reveal the track, and I was correct, so I don't have to eat crow. There is a fresh new track, and it looked absolutely phenomenal. Like it was something different. We
It's
had
beautiful.
yeah, it was
It's
like
beautiful.
you
It's
had
well for only for racing, to be honest.
yeah, but yeah, like to for me it was really good. Like you had the areas where you had to jump
Now
gaps
it
and
went
whatnot,
silent.
and then like the middle of the track you had the whole middle ramp thing. I'm glad they brought that whole thing back up. Like honestly, it was a fresh new track, I think, and it was very nice to see something refreshing. But that begs the question: are we gonna see another new track, or do you think we're gonna be seeing one of the tracks that we had this year recycled for another tour?
I have. Well, actually, first off, if you didn't, I believe it was kind of glitching, so I don't really know if you said it already. But we need to talk about the track name. For the name of this track, it's called Inverted Paperclip, which I find it pretty interesting, to be honest. And I can kind of see how it is. And honestly, I'm not saying the track is bad, but it's kind of more useful for racing if you kind of see it that way. Especially when it came to freestyle, there was not really a lot of like barely anything was changed of what from what I saw. Um, so yeah, there's one of them. But however, to answer your question with we're probably gonna see a recycled track or not, just by judging of like since we now got, you know, the inverted paperclip track, we might see sorry. We might see another old recycled track, like say like something like Cyclone, but a little bit newer. Like take something out of like Rings of Rod and put it in real life. If you know, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like the some of the guys on Sim Monsters, they're talented with some of the tracks they do. Like I've seen for MJL or Carnage Tour, there's some really great track
Yeah.
builders.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they don't always come to real life because of how outrageous the track is. Just yeah. And actually, speaking of like how outrageous the track is, there is sort of a little bit of a rumor that we might not possibly see this track for next year and is only an exclusive track, and that's mainly because of how big the track. I mean, it is massive. Like I don't like to be honest, I don't even know if they can fit this in another stadium. Like
Yeah,
sure, if they do it like say uh, like say they come to Houston and they might bring this track back. I won't be surprised if they change it up a bit. I won't be surprised by that. But hopefully that's not the case and this actually becomes a real life track. And I believe you're about to say something,
but yeah, we'll see again. There's
if I'm correct.
yeah, we still have like 2 weeks. Two or well this week they're taking off, so we still have until next week for their event. So we'll find out when that comes. So okay, I just want to point this out.
I don't know if it's
we're,
just
we're
honestly. I think the oh shit,
we're
not again.
I'm just saying we're saying come a lot. So uh shit. Anyway, so now to the show itself. So racing was very entertaining, and like again, the track was super creative. The berm, again, I like the berms, and yeah, Zach Garner got the win in racing. Then, and believe it or not, Adam Anderson, he actually managed to get to the finals. So he did really well in his new truck in his first go around. Like I was surprised. And then
I
Skills,
was
yeah.
close to predicting that. I was very close.
And then Skills, Dalton Widener in Jurassic Attack won, and that took me by surprise.
His first ever stadium win, and not
Like
only that, but I believe this is the first time he's running his new fire suit.
like that's crazy. And yeah, he's gonna be good for stadiums next year. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah.
for
But freestyle.
yeah, so
Oh,
let's
freestyle.
get to the matter at hand and why probably a lot of people are here. And if you see on the thumbnail itself, that's pretty much the only image that you're seeing is great show, controversial scoring or bad scoring. Again, I'm still debating on what I'm going to put for the second part. But so we have a couple of runs, and then we get to Kayla Blood. She did a decent run. So she got some air, and she shredded the body off, and then she hit a backflip, and the clock went to 0 as she broke the truck on impact. So she took the lead, and she deserved that. But was it Mike Christensen who came first?
It was Dalton Weiner that came out first.
Or I'm sorry, like after Kayla Blood.
Oh, after
I think it was Mike,
I,
Zach.
bu- I yeah, yeah. No, no, it was Mike. It was Mike.
Yeah. Then Mike Christensen. He comes out. He's got some air, and
And he cooked.
yeah, and he actually did the backflip. And what ended up happening was in the backflip, he managed to go and continue on afterwards. And they made a big deal about it. Like, no one's done that yet. Everybody kept breaking on the backflips, and he was the first one to keep going. And then he got a little save at the end. And the judges, the fans scored him low. Then we get to arguably the biggest mind fuck in Judges Zone. Zach Gardner, he goes out, he burns Glendale to the ground. I mean, he lights a match and he sets it on fire. Arson. That's not obviously I'm joking, but you get what I mean. He had a fantastic run, and he got a backflip, and he completely destroyed the truck. Like, he tried to go for like a cross thread, landed on the middle ramp, and just destroyed the truck. Like, the whole back was destroyed. And the reason why he didn't get the save, not the official shut him off, but the truck gave out. Like, the whole motor just exploded. So yeah, he had a fantastic run top to bottom, great momentum, big air, and shockingly, he does not get the lead. Then
And
and then
and
after a
to make things even more better,
yeah.
he recreated a John Zimmer Jr. moment.
Oh yeah,
Unbelievable.
the
Just
Charlotte race,
unbelievable,
yeah.
to be honest.
And then after a couple runs, we have Canada Murphy in Spider-Man, totally not Bakugan Dragonoid. He did a great run too. He had arguably the biggest air of the night, and he had again a great backflip, and he had a destruction-like finish. That didn't get the win. And then wrapping it up was Adam Anderson in Gravedigger 42. Even though that he didn't get a backflip, he managed to get something that again is like one of the toughest things to do, and that's a save. You gotta it's not like the nose wheelie or the backflip. Like with that, it's the heat of the moment, and it's like very appreciated when you can like nail it. And Adam nailed it. He got a great save, and he cross-thread and did some great stuff. He didn't get the win, so afterwards, the whole community went on a frenzy. Like there on almost every post I've seen after the event went off the air, so many people it started off with the YouTube chat. They went insane, and then we went to the Discord servers, the posts from Monster Jam on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Everybody is like saying that they really messed up with the judges' own stuff. Like widespread criticism.
Unbelievable, to be honest.
Like seriously, they have to address this judges' own thing, because even the commentators themselves, Scott Jordan, even he was like, I'm shocked that did not take the lead. Even he said that in his own words at one of the runs. Like they really have to address this if they're looking to do this stuff like with the broadcast and everything. It seemed like they wanted to make it more motorsport like, and it was great. It reminded me of Mav TV. Again, the judges zone thing, that's got to change. Either have official judges, or in an unrealistic way remove it altogether. Like there's got to be a way to fix this whole thing, because it's like the worst I've ever seen. You got 4 drivers all got robbed. 4 drivers, and that's the most I've seen get robbed in one event, like ever. And it's just stupid on how that whole went down. Like Zach Garner especially, he did everything. Like again, like top to bottom, check marked every part. Momentum, big air, backflip, a teeny save after the backflip, like on the back tires, and then destroying the truck at the end. He checked off all the boxes and he filled in the clock. So it's just bullshit that he didn't take the win from that, and all 4 drivers didn't at least get a high score. Like they got robbed badly. Kaysen, you can chime in if you want.
Actually, I do want to mention a few things. So I was so damn close to actually getting Zach the freestyle win correct. I was so close. Um, Another thing about, and actually, I do want to let you know on another thing. What I'm noticing that half of them in the middle of like when you talk, you're for some reason like going mute at random points, which I kind of wanted to address. So
Oh.
like when you were, I believe you were talking, and like I could not hear shit.
Mm.
If I'm being really honest.
Well, I'll have to go back and see if that's an issue, but still,
Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't really hear
Uh,
anything, to be honest.
uh anyway, well, hang on, mic check. Are we good?
I think that's, yeah, I think that's good now. I think we might just reset it.
Okay, so yeah, just the whole thing about Glendale though is just very like mind-boggling. Like if you were a Monster Jam fan, even from the start, why wouldn't you score somebody higher for doing crazier shit? Like again, Caleb Pledge. Like don't get me wrong, she's a great driver. She did a great job, but she got outright beat, like outright. So yeah,
Yeah,
if they want to do the points, they gotta fix Judge's Zone. Like that's a major thing they gotta address at least.
yeah, yeah. Because what I'm noticing now, that honestly, I feel like throughout the whole year, throughout every single year, Judges Zone kind of been the same probably each year. But this year, now that everything is live, it's really just showing how stupid Judges Zone is. Like really stupid.
Yeah, like now we're seeing a lot more calls, like whether it's the arena shows or some of the stadium shows that wouldn't usually be on TV. And yeah, it's like becoming clear as day, but we were fine for a little bit, but then we got Glendale. Again, the freestyle was phenomenal. There were some great runs, But God, man, the scoring was just fucking atrocious. They gotta fix the whole judges zone thing. But like again, I've seen a lot of fans just say remove it, but with how their direction is, that's very unrealistic. Like it would, it wouldn't just happen overnight. So what I would say is just like for major points events or just major events that they're hyping up to high heaven, they gotta have the official judges with the judges zone. So then they do the balance because at most it worked. Like at the World Finals, it did its job and we had some fair winners. So I think that would be a little bit more realistic. Or on on some bizarre level, they can score freestyle but not have it for points or not have it that major and just have it as just some stunts or whatever. Like whatever way to fix this whole thing. But I think the official judges and the fan judges together, as they did with the World Finals, I think would be the most logical approach to fix it. Kason, you got any
Probably.
ideas, or do you think one of those are good?
Um, Honestly, like just in general, I feel like they should just get rid of judgeszone.com like completely and just leave it all up to the professionals. And when I say professionals, I mean I would say each. Wait, hold on a second.
Anyway, so while we wait, um, yeah, so and then overall, Adam Anderson won overall. So that's pretty much how Glendale was. And yeah, I'm just really hoping that that they'll fix this because, again, as I've said, it was on YouTube at first on the live chat. Then it went to Instagram, Facebook, Discord, and it was just blowing up like rapid fire. And that's how much backlash they got. So it was massive. So like again, if it was just a small group of people, like at least like maybe 8 or 10 people in like one separate chat, I wouldn't be talking about this. But it's literally a huge chunk, whether it's kids, teens, adults who are on these accounts. They were all speaking, and that's like pretty much a big wake up sign saying, all right, if it's that many people, we got to do something about it. And I hope they have that mindset going in to Houston in about a couple weeks, so they can. Because again, with these events, they usually like to experiment. So why not they just go and experiment with with the judges and not just the tracks or just the show concepts? It would honestly be fitting because then they still have time and they can just prep, get ready, and then 2025 will be here as soon as we know it. So yeah, I'm hoping they can do that. Or if it's not enough time and they can't get enough people to judge, then maybe at least 2026. Maybe if 2025 is a little too late. But yeah, I think that would be very very well to get that addressed before it becomes worse. Because right now we're seeing it's bad, but there's a good chance that it is going to get even worse if they wait it out and continue to do the
Oh
judgeszone.com
crap.
thing right now. Anyway, Kaysen is back, and we get to hear from him on a earlier statement. I just wanted to fill it up with a little bit more of ranting and raving.
Yeah. Excuse me, burping. So back with judges. I just honestly think they should just get rid of it completely and just leave it all up to the professionals. And when I say professionals, I mean each weekend they would have like someone like say like someone I would say like a retired monster driver or anyone that's like a part I would say of the Hall of Fame or did used to drive a monster or still and but still visits like let them be like I would say as the professional judges and for each show and it can be for I will say depending on the retired driver or retired monster person whatever. I can say it could be for different tours, which, to be honest, it could get a little bit interesting.
Yeah, so it would definitely fix the whole thing, but obviously it's a little bit unrealistic compared to what they've said on Scott's podcast, where they're really leaning into the judges zone like a lot, and they say it's a big part of Monster Jam right now. So honestly, I think the combination thing would be realistic for now, and then in the future, if they do decide to remove it, then they can do so. Because with that type of thing, and with how Judge Zone has been these last several years, if they want to change, honestly, in my opinion, it's going to take a little bit of time. Because it's really, really big in their eyes right now. If they decide to change. But
I
yeah,
mean, kind of hope.
hopefully.
Oh, yeah, hopefully they change eventually, and just like if you like in another thing, they could get like actual like not just like fans that but I'm talking about like fans
Oh, like
that go to
hardcore.
Monster. So, something like I would say we're both Monster fans, but we're both well known Monster fans. Like people know of what we're into. Like I would say whichever fan like goes to that show, they could be like literally, not even a joke, could be the professional judges themselves. Because since us fans like see like completely differently from the newer fans, judges geez, I'm stuttering a lot.
You're fine.
Scoring can be a little bit different and actually pretty entertaining of what we decide.
Yeah, and not only that, we've been watching Monster Jam for a very long. Well, not just Monster Jam, but Monster Trucks entirely for a long time, and I know there's quite a lot of fans who also do the same. Wayne Chahaki, Jackson Morris, like all those guys. So like, if they could do that as well, like not just the drivers or like previous commentators or previous people who are working with Monster Jam who have been watching for a while, but even maybe some fans like us, like not casual people who are just joining in just to join, because obviously they never like watched Monster Jam before and they're just getting in, but like people like us who have watched for such a long time know how to win the competition, or we've done rigs events, or like just any of that. If they were to bring us on, it would also help the results better too. So if it was that big combination, like a hardcore fan, a previous driver, previous person working there, or even a current person working there, it would work. And yeah, that's honestly a really great idea.
Yeah, and especially because like since we're the type of fans that's been around since Crush Cars, I would say we kind of just all know how it is, and just it just really depends on the skill and creativity that they could do in order to get the lead.
God, I feel old. The beginning that you said, oh, I can't believe it's been that
Right.
long.
I mean, at least to do freestanding crush cars for World Finals and Superstar Challenge, which, in my honest opinion, I feel like it's the perfect idea to bring out crush cars. Because
Yeah, yeah,
don't get
cause
me wrong,
oh, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Seeing them at normal shows, it was pretty cool. But however, since the World Finals and the Superstar Challenge are both of Monster Jam's biggest events of the year, I feel like bringing out Crush Cars to, especially when it comes to freestyle, because that's the competition we all know we want to see. We can just see a bunch of cars getting crushed one by one, and everyone is gonna love it.
Yeah, like if they were to bring it back, like how they did these last few times, this would be the most realistic way to do it. And it would also make the World Finals and Superstar Challenge feel even more special, like more like exclusive. Like it's another benefit to going to the show or watching the show. And it's like something you don't see all the time. So that honestly would work really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And thankfully, I believe the tradition of them doing that is continuing on and on, which props to them. Just props to them.
Yeah,
We'll
so,
say that.
yeah. If next year for Salt Lake City, if anybody at Feld is listening to this for the next World Finals, I want to see a old double bus stack, like how they did at the World Finals a couple times, where you have. Uh,
Or Superstar Challenge.
no, I mean not that. I mean like or
Oh,
Superstar Challenge, but like you got two buses, and then you got each one has a van and a car on the side, like a pyramid. And
that
yeah,
type.
that one.
Oh,
Like, and it's two buses in the middle, kind of like how they did with the World Finals a couple times many years ago. I think that would be very, very nice to see, because even then, it could be sturdy, but also crushable. So it'd be a very, very great thing to bring back, maybe for Salt Lake City, because I got a good feeling about Salt Lake City. I think they might go for something more St. Louis like. Again, don't quote me on that, but I got a good feeling with how that place is. They might go for something like that. But that would be nice, though.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm more like going into Salt Lake City next year. I just more see it as Las Vegas just because of not only of how similar the stadium is, but also of how similar I would say the feeling is. I mean, it's on the West Coast and it's also at a college football stadium, which I believe Sam Boyd was also a college football stadium,
I'm
if
pretty
I'm
sure.
correct.
Might have
Yeah,
been.
so just like bring those in a mix, especially because the colors of Rice Eckler Stadium, hopefully I pronounced that name right, are the exact same color as Sam Boyd Stadium. It's really not a bad. I mean, at first when it was revealed, I immediately doubted because, of course, Utah is literally in the middle of nowhere, and there's really not a lot to do. And just of how I would say small the city and the stadium is in general, I just did not really see that. But now, just looking back at the stadium, I realized I think they could do that.
Yeah, I think honestly that would
So
work. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it'd be nice. But so we went over Glendale. I bitched and complained, and we
which
talked.
was totally fine.
Yeah, obviously, again with the podcast, one of the main reasons why we do the podcast is to speak our mind. Again, I don't like to sugarcoat anything, so usually with this stuff, I like to speak for the mind, and I encourage people who are on the podcast to also speak the way that they want to, say stuff. Obviously, with some rules in stake, like you can't say certain words, but overall, it's just a place just to speak your mind and what you want to talk about. So,
Yeah,
hence,
and actually, sorry to interrupt, but I do want to mention. Did you mention that Jamie literally first hit in freestyle, he did a backflip
oh yeah, that one.
and
Oh,
completely
that was
popped the
insane.
tire and
Jamie,
kept on going like a badass.
yeah, Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco. Um, I thought they had a rule where you had to do the backflip like later,
Yeah,
but
they did. He completely just broke that rule and just
yeah,
gave zero Fs and just continued like Mark List in Arizona
it's
where he
like
broke the axle and but instead it's a pop tire.
yeah, it's like screw you guys. I'm doing a backflip first thing. Like I jumped as soon as I saw the backflip first thing, saw the tire pop off, and God, there was a missed opportunity though. What he should have done after doing some like hits on the ramps and whatnot, what really would have sold it better was like doing a donut, like in the direction where it would benefit. Dude, that would have been perfect. Like if you were to do a donut in the correct direction with that pop tire, pretty much almost off the rim, like literally Dennis Anderson 2001 style, like ripping it right off the
Oh
rim.
my god.
That could have happened.
Oh my. I mean, honestly, I do not. Coming into Houston in a couple of weeks, I have no idea what Jamie has planned because I'm kind of now interested to see what he does,
Uh,
to be honest.
let's just shout out the Gardners for a second. Jamie Gardner, badass. Zach Garner, almighty badass. Those guys are badass, but they're also super nice.
And yet I've never met them before,
You should.
but yet seen
Yeah,
them
you
compete.
you you,
Yeah,
you should. They're very nice.
yeah, yeah. I'm like next year if I go to Anaheim again or Inglewood, which I most likely will, I'm gonna try to meet them to just see how nice their personality is.
Yeah, they're very nice and very genuine. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So they threw down a Glendale, so we're excited for them in the future. Um, so we talked
More
about.
reasons why Team Overboard's my favorite independent team.
Oh my god, like
I
doesn't
know,
matter doesn't matter
and I,
where.
I,
Yeah,
I because Team Overboard just gives zero Fs.
yeah,
That's why I like the team. That's why I like the team.
yeah. It doesn't matter where they are. Monster Jam or some local independent show, they're gonna thrill, and I'm really glad that they're doing this no matter what. Um,
Yeah.
so Monster Jam, Glendale, check. Mexico. This was interesting, a very interesting lineup, and believe it or not, the track actually had blue paint for the arena pod. So flashback to
And,
2023. But
and believe it or not, as also, but believe it or not as well, it also had a mini flip.
yeah, mini flip in Mexico. That was sick. So
That that was surprising, actually.
yeah, and I'm glad they had that. I
Yes,
guess
same.
I guess because they had Colt Stevens and Ryan Anderson, so that I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but still, it's international.
Yeah. So the from what I saw at the events, it was like okay, but there was some pretty decent moments, like some drivers trying to go for like bicycles,
Bicycle.
yeah, bicycles but sliding. The the dirt to me looked very soft. I don't know if that's like that but
It
also
was
sand together or something in Mexico, but like it was just really soft.
like show one just like sucked in general, just because of how smooth the dirt was.
Yeah,
Show two kind of improved, and I did not watch the. The only reason why I even watched Mexico because of Ryan and Todd. Like that was literally it.
yeah. Obviously,
Should-
Ryan was throwing it down. Like he was able to do like the cleanest freaking wheelies on the pod. Like he would gas a little bit, he would floor it right at the ramp, and he wouldn't even really get air. He would just put it right on the back tires on the arena pod and walk it like freaking flawless. He,
Just
he
just totally incredible.
yeah, and yeah, after all these years, he hasn't missed a beat, which is insane. Um, but yeah, it was just really good. With what he was doing. But yeah, the arena shows were okay, obviously with the dirt. But um, then let's go over to Australia. Our boy Jackson
Melbourne.
Morris was there, and he had a fun time. So
Same for Wayne.
and same for Wayne, and hopefully I can get him on the podcast at some point. Um, yeah, they went ahead and they threw it down on both shows, and it was also a Mudfest this year.
But yeah, that honestly, I was a little surprised that it was raining in Melbourne because I don't think Melbourne ever had a mud show before. If I'm being honest,
I
like
think maybe
correct me if I'm wrong, but
maybe it
still.
was Melbourne, either that or there or Sydney. I think it might have been Melbourne, maybe.
I mean, Cindy has always been reigning. That's a fact.
Yeah, pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think Melbourne did have rain at one point. I might be confusing it with another one.
Maybe Cindy, because we don't really know.
Yeah,
That's the thing. We don't really know of like what it is, but of course there were surprisingly a lot of highlights when it came to Melbourne.
yeah. I mean, usually in Australia, those guys throw it down. Well, usually there.
Yeah.
With London,
Yeah.
London actually had some pretty good moments, but usually in Australia, they throw it down. They know Jackson's watching, so they know what to do.
Especially Joe Dennis.
Joe Dennis the Menace.
So honestly, I was like for about like a year now, I was just predicting maybe Joe and Black Panther, and I was correct.
Yep,
Like
it's yep.
I
You
was fucking correct.
yeah, you got it right. You get your very small trophy. Your winner.
Of predictions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna say it's gonna say something very like poor English. Your win. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll just be slapped together in like 5 seconds on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. But of course, we do have to probably go to the results and probably how the show went, though.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
Now, I did see some highlights though. I'm kind of like blind going into this, but I did see really good moments from the drivers, and Charlie Pauken literally burned the truck down on the second show. Well, not burning it down, but like stuffing the truck is what I wanted to say. Like,
He just destroyed the truck.
yeah, got some air, and then the arena pod was right there, and bam, the whole hood comes off, and he's flipping over. But
Almost did a backflip, I believe.
yeah, the first show, I don't know if it was just the first show, but the backflips they got off the backflip ramp, those were huge. Like, they could have gotten
They
almost
were.
doubles with the height that they were getting.
Could have got Todd LeDuc style.
Oh man. Oh yeah, Todd LeDuc World Finals. I seriously don't know
Yeah.
how that happened. Was like the ramp made in a certain way? Like, how did he get that big of a backflip? Now that I'm thinking about it.
So he was trying to do a double backflip, which I'm sure at this point everyone knows. When it came to a jump, he ended up slowing down a little bit so he can get a lot of speed coming into the backflip ramp. But instead, it just created the world's largest backflip, which I will like to confirm that he did get injured, but not that badly.
Well, yeah, because you're hitting a solid like hill like head on like that. I
Like he
think,
just injured his elbows,
yeah, yeah. Honestly,
which
but that would be cool for it to be in competition. But for double backflips, I think we'll just stick with encores for now, because you would have to have like a certain chassis, like one of Tom's chassis, and also have like a specifically made ramp for the double. So I think that'd be a little bit more um, of a better way to try to do it. But still, I did not even know that until going into it a couple. I think maybe like last week you told me before we recorded, or somebody told me. But like that was crazy. Now hearing about that.
yeah, it's kind of because like I'm gonna be honest, I would have loved to see the because coming into the Superstar Challenge last year, I like during Best Trick, I wanted to see at least one driver do that. But then after hearing when Todd made a live stream, after hearing of what was going on in his mind, I realized, oh, never mind.
um. So, do you have the results for Australia? I'm trying to remember, but I from
Uh,
like a quick
so
glance. I could also pull up the Monster Jam website if so.
I I don't. I know it by heart.
We'll
So
do it
you're
live. Fuck it.
racing.
We'll do it
Yeah,
live.
yeah,
Fuck it. Thing
yeah. Live.
sucks. Okay.
All right. So for show one, your racing winner was Blake Granger. For skills, it was Blake Granger again,
Yeah.
which he almost got a reverse bicycle, but kind of failed it a little bit and truly created maximum disruption. Then came out the freestyle. Oh
Absolutely.
boy, it was yeah. Yeah, came
That-
out to freestyle. Oh boy, what happens? It rains. It rains during freestyle. You know.
yeah. I'm thirsty. I want some water. Not that much water,
Then
God. Jeez.
yeah, let's see. A couple runs going. Oh, good, 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 good. Still love Joe being in the lead. Then came out to Charlie. Spoiler alert, your freestyle winner, which he probably threw it down. Honestly, thought it should have took second, to be honest. But however, your overall event champion for that show and winning what I believe is his first international stadium show in his career, or stadium overall in general, is Tony Oaks in Iron Man, which he ended up doing a little bit of an encore because Gravedigger and Max D were fucking up badly.
Yeah, they were fucking up really bad. What a shame,
Yeah,
man. What
and
a shame.
then
Very bad, man. I'm sorry, God.
yeah, yeah,
Again,
but then was
sometimes I'll just spew bullshit for no reason, just a joke.
I think I could tell. Yeah. All jokes aside now, for show two, for the first time, surprisingly, for a while, we saw a complete clean sweep from Matt Cody, which was very surprising to see because this is like what I believe the first ever clean sweep since quarter one. Like, wow,
Yeah, I think the
it's
last
been
person
that
that
long.
yeah, I think the last person that got a clean sweep in a stadium was Ryan, I think. I think
No, it
that
was Tyler.
Oh, Tyler? Oh, right. Yeah, it was Tyler. Yeah.
Because Ryan was actually the first. Actually, I believe is that I think Ryan was actually the first driver to get a complete sweep at a show, coincidentally in my hometown, and it was the show that I wasn't attending. And the next clean sweep, yeah, blah blah, shocker, Weston, I think. Then it was
Well, like
Tyler, which
but like
yeah,
arenas, especially if it's like Weston's tour like this year, kind of unsurprising. But with stadiums, those are tougher. Like those are like the big dogs. So
well, to be honest, I think they're trying to make the arenas and stadiums kind of the exact same, just because of one simple thing. They only allow one truck to do a backflip.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But like is it the same thing with like the points for quarter one as well, or is that just quarter two where there's no points on the line?
It's That's kind of a interesting question because like quarter two kind of acts like the new season as a whole, but at the same time we're not really too sure.
Yeah. So I'll remember this, and next season when we see this in points, I'll have the answer. Cause with the arena shows, just having one truck do a backflip in arena, but for like no points on the line is understandable. Like you want it to be like a big deal, but at the same time you got stadiums that have multiple backflips. So, whoops. But when it comes to the beginning of the season for 2025 coming up, if there's like many drivers going for backflips on the same show, cool. If it's just one per show, then it's rigged. So
Really is.
so we'll see. We'll see. If it's multiple backflips per like one show, then that's good. But if it's like this for like weeks on end, then we know for sure the arena tour is pretty rigged in freestyle.
That is true. That really is true.
Yeah, so keep in mind, viewers, keep in mind actually, when you go to 2025's points events in arenas, Give it about a month. Give it at least 1 month, and if all the events are pretty much like this, then we can confirm it. But if there is quite a few events that involve multiple backflips per show, then it's only during when there's no points in the line.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that at that, and I'll just make sure I save that so I can put that in my brain so I can remember. I'll just try to remember that. So, yeah, so clean sweep for Matt Cody and Gravedigger.
Yeah. Yeah, which was pretty impressive because, in my honest opinion, I don't. I'll be a little bit honest. I don't really see Matt as one of Gravedigger's best drivers, if I'm being completely honest. Sure, because like it's mainly because he's mostly international, so I don't really get to see a lot of his U.S. performance. But of course, thanks to Brandon Vincent, Matt Cody kind of proved that. But he was in arenas. That wasn't really enough. When I see him in stadiums in the U.S., that's when I get to confirm if he's one of Monster Jam's greats in Greg Digger or not.
Ooh, but yeah, he's doing well in stadiums and international, and he did well in the arena shows that he did this year. But next year he's gonna
Yeah.
be in a arena tour. Fucking wow, I just messed up. But yeah,
Well, and most likely might get invited to the World Finals.
oh, if he gets invited into the World Finals, that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, because I mean, after all, Matt Cody is already a world champion, so adding him will kind of make sense.
Yeah, so we'll see, and hopefully after the season next year, he can be put into some selective stadium events in the U.S. Hopefully, and then maybe he can have a shot.
Undoubted, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's
I mean,
yeah,
it's a pretty good. It is honestly not a bad idea, but kind of doubted considering Anderson's.
yeah, but we'll see, or even better, maybe fit him into like a separate Feld truck, maybe just for like one or two
That would be a
shows.
great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, that honestly would be a great. But they don't really do that with a lot of Gravedigger drivers. That's the problem.
yeah.
Like it's pretty rare.
Yeah, it's
You know.
with today's Monster Jam, it's kind of tough, but we'll see if that ever does happen. But again, like just for like a one off, like have just a Adam drive Gravedigger and then have Matt Cody drive what truck would he drive? Oh, you know what? Blue Thunder. You know, because he already drove Blue Thunder years ago.
But that really the only way Blue Thunder could actually return for at least one show is if, or in general, just many shows, is if it. Oh my God, I'm suffering. Is because oh my goodness. Oh, all right, I think I got it together.
Take it
The
slow.
only
Take it
way
slow.
that's the only way that truck could maybe return for a show is of its sponsoring. Because right now, the key merchandise of the truck is kind of going low right now, so it's not really gonna, you know, be at any shows at the moment. But eventually, if the key merchandise grows back, then most likely.
Yeah. Did was Blue Thunder in any show this year, like internationally?
Nope, not at all.
Jeez, 2024 first year I think they didn't have the truck because 2023 I think they had one show internationally.
Actually, they had like four. Actually, no, actually, no. Skip that. They had like
A couple.
they had because I forgot the first international show name for 2023. I forgot. Is it like Sweden?
Oh
No,
well, whatever it
was
was.
it? Whatever it was, and no, oh, Stockholm, Sweden.
Ah yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I, that's when Blue Thunder was brought international. Then it was for the African tour, which it was swapped by a lot of drivers like Randy Brown, Tristan England, and Camden Murphy.
Yep.
And
And now we have the
and
well.
then
yeah, now we have the kind of cookie cutter Marvel lineup where you have the four Marvel trucks, and then you have El Toro
Four
Loco,
Feld.
Gravedigger, and then you have Megalodon, and then you got Max D. But um, again, when 2025 hits, if Max D's there,
We don't know.
okay. If Max D's not
Well,
there, then what? Blue Thunder?
uh,
Maybe?
I don't really. Honestly, I don't really. I don't know. I mean, that just depends. To be and well, and actually, I believe Blue Thunder might have competed in Germany as well last year with Bernard Light behind the wheel, and then Dubai that it also competed. Yeah, so it kind of competed for not really a lot of shows.
Yeah. So let's
Or
let's
not
start let's
just.
start the hashtag bring back Blue Thunder.
I don't think it was run in 2021. I don't think it was run that year.
Well,
It
obviously,
was supposed
obviously so because of restrictions
pandemic.
and low events. Yeah.
Yeah, and the pandemic, which brought us the most interesting driver swappings like Ryan and Adam, and just Kristen and Stadium's worst decision they could possibly make.
Yeah, but either way, that season though was very very fun to watch. I remember because it was like
It's
what.
a little bit
Yeah,
entertaining.
the reason why I really loved it was not just because of it being a little bit more focused. Like they had storylines going in, like oh, is Ryan Anderson like is he figuring out the truck, whatnot, or like oh this track, like what's tough about it. But like not only that, but it's one tour. You're just focusing on one tour, one points championship, and it kind of brought me back to like the old FS1 Championship Series days where it was just one tour, and that's what I really loved about it. That's
I
kind
did
of
not see it like that.
yeah, and yeah, because then now you have all right. This is the driver. Like, these are the main big dogs of Monster Jam, and this is what you like. This is what you want to see, or like who you got to look out for. I wish in the future Monster Jam could like do a whole overhaul with their tours, like have their arena series, maybe bring back Triple Threat if they want. Have a stadium tour
Oh,
that's
please do that.
yeah, that tour is fun. Have a
That tour is interestingly fun, and
yeah,
that tour was amazing.
yeah. They got to bring back Triple Threat. I remember watching it live and just seeing that because like it had a lot of variety. Um, but main point. So have a Triple Threat tour and then have regular tours, and then have one stadium tour where it's just regular 12 truck field, and have have quite a few independents, have some Feld drivers get like a big promotion and join in that to like get their feet wet, or have some older drivers in there. But then have the majority of the big drivers have them in one large tour with a bunch of trucks, and have it as like the equivalent of like the Cup Series in NASCAR, or like the 450 class in Supercross. Have it the major point series where you have the best going for it. I think
Yeah.
that would be an incredible way to rebrand Monster Jam and do something fresh, because we've kind of had the same thing for years now. So I think for 2026, they should go for that. It's just something completely fresh, and I think it would help definitely with fans following the sport and rooting for their favorite drivers. I think it would work.
By the way, you said 2026. That's accidentally, but yeah, that would be a great idea, though.
Yeah, yeah, the reason why I said 2026 is because it'd be more realistic again, since
Oh, yeah. Oh,
since 2025 is
yeah.
already confirmed. It's just another 5 tours going off at the same time. But
All right, just just making sure.
yeah, don't
Just
worry,
making
don't
sure.
worry. Even though that I'm pretty burnt out, I'm not that dead. But yeah, thank you, work, and also bad allergies. But
Oh,
yeah, honestly, I think if they were to rebrand like that, like have some normal arena tours, and then have one big triple threat series tour, and then have one regular stadium tour, and then have a have a big stadium tour where you have a lot of drivers, new tracks every week, track maps and everything like that. Like go all out. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. And also, instead of just having one driver get a guarantee, have like a top 5 or top 3 get a guarantee. Like really give it like something, and even like maybe like announce cash like they can earn, or like build off on just new things. I think that would work. Like just fresh new things and make it different. Whew. All right. I think we might have covered everything, didn't we?
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. Go
sorry
ahead.
about that.
Yeah, go ahead. If
Sorry about that. I was just talking to my dad. I mean, from what I'm noticing today is that there was, and you're one of them. Is that a lot of people and fans want Monster to still keep the modern day style, but bring back a lot of its original form. Like you know what I mean? You know what I mean by that?
yeah, yeah. Like have one tour be the major tour to watch, and have triple threat.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, but obviously do it in like a different way. Well, like triple threat, you could bring back the name, but for the major stadium tour, you would have to find like a whole new name, and just maybe get like a title sponsor for that tour, and just really like hammer in the fact that that's the major tour. Like that's the only difference.
Austrian Morgan.
Oh, back to Morgan and Morgan, aren't we? Fucking Morgan and Morgan. Uh,
Only sponsor that could make Monster Jam better.
Morgan Jam. Who doesn't love a good old fashioned
Morgan
Morgan
Jam.
Jam?
Now we're gonna move on to Independence. We got Morgan Attack. We got
Why does that sound like a friggin' Pokemon move? Ugh.
Pikachu. Use Morgan Attack.
He just pulls out like this like law firm freaking thing. Oh my god.
Wait, now I have an idea of what they could do.
What?
Pokemon style with Morgan and Morgan as the truck.
Oh my god.
Two sponsors in one. No, just once again the ultimate sponsor of a video game company and a lawsuit.
I don't know why in like motorsports lawsuit stuff is becoming so big now.
It's kind of because of the amount of injuries they're
Yeah,
getting.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like with Monster Jam,
And the
really?
funny, oh, but here's the funny, but no, this is the funny part. Ever since they actually did the fucking sponsor with Morgan Morgan, that's when drivers were actually getting injured. Like,
Oh my god.
literally getting injured. Like, ever
Oh,
since Morgan Morgan has been one of Monster's sponsors, drivers has just been getting injured one by one. Like, we got Tom, Adam,
Jamie.
see, fuck. Oh yeah, Jamie. No, Jamie was the first one, I believe.
Yeah, Jamie. Yeah,
Uh,
that was the show that I went to.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you saw an injury.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll think of more injuries later, but I'll get to some.
Be just
Uh, oh
overall
yeah,
shake up.
Oh yeah, Joe Yuri actually got injured.
Really?
He, yeah, when he came to like in the middle of like filling in for James I I am very bad at pronouncing James's last name. If you know which rookie I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah, just say James.
Uh, I'm just gonna say James C. James C. That easy. Um,
James Cereal.
God. We're just gonna say James C.
Okay.
Um, when he was about to be the main driver, when he was filling in for James, he ended up, I don't know which weekend it was, but I know he like broke his wrist, I believe, and so he was taken out of competition.
Okay, so it was actually 4 drivers that get injured in 1 year.
I know that's very,
It's like
and
2020.
I didn't even realize
Oh,
what.
like 2023, Morgan and Morgan comes on, but not crazy enough. But 2024, they became a main sponsor. But that is a weird
It's just
coincidence.
that really is.
Four
And
drivers get injured in 1 year, the most we've ever seen, and Morgan and Morgan's right there in the background saying, "We're sponsored."
And I'm trying to, and I'm really, I'm trying to think of more drivers that got injured this year, but I don't know who.
I think it might have just been these four, but like,
Oh God, oh, golly,
fucking wow.
that is that is just. Wait, no, that was I was gonna say Dave, Dalton Weiner, but I
No,
realized
no.
he got injured last year.
And then yeah, I think that was it. But
Yeah,
that's
that's
still insane though, and a
I
very weird
yeah
coincidence. Now that you bring all that up,
yeah that's very interesting. Did they do that sponsor on purpose? Like actually,
no.
they couldn't. No, not them.
We're gonna. I think you just started a whole conspiracy theory. Damn it, Kason.
It's not just any theory. It's a sponsor theory.
Kill me.
I'll take more injuries later, but yeah, it's
Let
still though pretty coincidental.
yeah. So, Rockwell Morgan. That's what we'll end it off on that segment. Another truck. So,
Selena's
oh what? Salinas.
Selena's Rockwell Red.
Yep.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, I
If
know.
you know, you
I
know.
know. I know.
That was that was brutal as hell.
Mm-hmm.
That was. All right, let's move on.
Yep. Let's move on to the ending. It's END. That's how it's spelled. If you don't know how to spell end, then you are freaking stupid. Um, that's so we made it to the end of the podcast. We're about an over an hour, and I am practically half alive. So we're gonna be doing an episode, I believe, yeah, next week, next Monday. We're gonna go over our predictions for Houston, as well as ramble on some more incoherent bullshit. And then we go to our results and more random bullshit. Um, yeah,
I'll try to make it on next week, but most likely can't because it's my birthday on that day. So yeah,
yeah. Be sure to
kind of a
wish
bummer.
Kason a big freaking happy birthday next week. He's gonna be partying
Yeah,
like there's no tomorrow. I bet. I'm only
you'll be
saying that just
surprised.
yeah. I'm only saying it just guessing, but I know for sure.
Well, I mean, I might. I mean, I might. I mean, I'm like it's mostly going to be a family dinner, but I'm also inviting one of my friends from that used to be a senior last year, so it might go crazy. Oh, that's all I could say.
Yeah, go batshit insane. So yep. So next week we'll be talking more Monster Jam stuff. We got Houston coming up. We'll go over the lineup. We'll be talking about who we think will win, and we will spew more Morgan and Morgan bullshit. Speaking of the Morgan and Morgan bullshit, excuse me, drunk.
There we go. There's
Yep.
the burp.
Before I recorded it, I let out a lot of gas, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to burp during the recording. Well, there it is. So what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna do an edit about the Morgan and Morgan stuff, where it's just the clip, but I'm gonna try to edit some images, and I will steal the Morgan Smash thing just for that. if you don't mind.
Or even better, just no, don't worry, you're fine. And if it's also possible, when it comes to, Morgan, try to like throughout every live stream, I would say, try to get every single time a reporter or commentator said Morgan and Morgan backflip, and just like I would say let it start out as a joke, but then later on get like into a serious edit. That's kind of my idea. That is honestly my idea.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's yeah. I'll try to remember. I might not, but we shall see. And
Yeah.
again, as of the time of this upload here on Tuesday, October 8th, be sure to watch me on the Best Jellies YouTube channel tonight around 7 or 8. I'll be competing in the Carnage Tour in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. So, haven't competed in there since like 2022 or 2023 on rigs. So, be sure to go ahead and check them out. And yeah, so I'll be in there tonight. And also, again, as I said in the beginning, we have the official Discord server for TF Motorsports. And also, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, put them down in the comments section below. And yes, that is about it. Any final thoughts?
This podcast was not sponsored by Morgan and Morgan or brought to you by Morgan and Morgan. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it.
That's about it. So thank you guys so much for
That's right.
you just
That's
chimed
about
in.
it.
So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next week on the podcast. Take care.